Okay. So thank you guys all so much for joining us. I really appreciate the time that you guys are taking into your business. We are coming into our absolute biggest time of the year. So it is the biggest and best time to join and do Pampered Chef, and it's the best time to be a Pampered Chef consultant. Woohoo! I want you to think for a second about what your dream paycheck would be on December 9th or 8th or 9th. You could, if nothing could get in your way and you could not fail, what would your dream paycheck be? Maybe take a second and write that down. So this program that we're doing is going to be a 4-week program to help you build a team and increase activity. It's called Run to Director. So throughout these next few weeks, you should be learning how to book more shows, how to be using your time more effectively to actually be doing income generating activities, and how to add more people to your team. So in the group Red Apron Bound, you'll see that I had a 25 contact tracker put into the group there. And you'll notice in this 25 contact tracker that you're reaching out to people more than once. So I'm just going to open this up, or if you have it open, you can take a peek at it. But as we always like to say, the fortune is in the follow-up. So you'll notice that it'll say number 1, and then it'll say a name, and then it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 check marks of the times that you've contacted them. So only 5% of people actually say yes on the first ask. So our brains as women and as human beings, our brains are wired that the moment that we get asked for something, our immediate response is no. So we have to remember that that's the most common response that people are going to have when we ask them about the business or about a show. So when you train your mind to think that no doesn't mean no forever, but it means no, not right now, that really helps. And then another big thing is changing your emotion around the no. Whenever I used to get no's, I would kind of get my first no, kind of feel a little bit beaten down. Hear my second no, feel a little bit more beaten down. By the time I got like 8 no's, I was like, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I don't even want to do this, But if you start to change your emotion around the no, which is called going for no, it's amazing what happens. So all of a sudden, you turn your no's into next. There's a tracker that I'll update. I have a little tracker for you that I'll post. And you get to give yourself a treat for every single 10 no's that you get. So say you get 10 no's, and you almost start to go for no because you can do a little check mark on your tracker. And if you get 10 no's, you get to maybe get yourself a specialty coffee. Maybe another 10 no's, you get to give yourself a bubble bath. Maybe by the time you get 100 no's, you get to buy yourself a new pair of shoes. But the point is that you're rewarding yourself for all of the activity and the effort that you're doing, because as you get those no's, there's going to be a lot of yeses along the way. And as we've learned with virtual parties, the most common thing that you're going to get with virtual parties is no response. How many people get lots of no response? Yes. Like, I would actually way rather a no than a no response. I don't know if you guys saw on Team Sale, I posted the texting messages to get bookings from virtuals, and I'm actually loving, one sec here, my daughter. There we go. I'm loving texting people because they're immediately writing me back with a no or not right now, and I'm loving it. I would way rather a no than a no response. So, but when you're tracking your contacts in this tracker, so what we're going to be looking for is 25 two-way conversations. And it's funny, it'd be easy to blast out 25 messages to friends right now, and you'd be like, sweet, I'm done my 25 conversations. But when you actually have to have them talk back to you, that's when it gets really interesting. You find that you're really having to contact a lot of people. And with this tracker, Shannon says she's been loving it. This tracker, you really start to see how many people you're actually talking to. And for those people who haven't responded on Facebook, you can go back to them and like send a funny GIF, like or hi. There's a really funny Forrest Gump one that's like, hey. I send that one a lot. And then often people will write me back and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I saw your message when I was, driving. I couldn't write you back. And then I'm just not interested right now. I'm like, perfect. I just like to get a response either way. So tracking your contacts is huge. So that will be, so every single week, so we'll be doing these calls on Tuesdays. We'll get you to make sure you're doing 25 two-way conversations every week, and then everybody's gonna hold up their tracker and be like, look at my 25 two-way conversations, which works out to about 5 two-way conversations a day, 5 days a week. So when you break it down like that, it's not too many conversations. And when you start having these conversations, that's when you're going to get the bookings and start adding people to your team. As we know, bookings are the lifeline of our business and the bloodline. So if we don't have any bookings, we don't have a business. So I'm just going to get you guys to write down down on your piece of paper, if you have one, the word Franks. Anybody heard this word before? Franks. Oh, yay, Lori was able to join us. I'm looking at all the peeps. Lori, yay, and Lisa Ween, Stacy. So Frank's is a really good way to start talking, to kind of start tracking who you're talking to. So does anybody know what Frank stands for? It's an acronym. So F stands for friends. So this kind of gives you an idea of who to contact for parties. So F is friends. R is relatives. A is associates. So those are coworkers, or you could also use A as acquaintances. N is for neighbors. K is for kids contacts. And S is spouses contacts or sports teams. Not all of us are on sports teams, or all of us have spouses. Or you could also do social contacts. But this kind of helps you break up your contacts and gives you ideas of who to contact. Do you know the number one reason that somebody will book a party with you? Anybody know? The number one reason that people will book a party with you is because they like you. So not because of what the specials are this month, or not because of getting a bunch of free stuff, but they're going to have a party with you because they know you and they like you and they trust you. That's the third thing. So those are the three things. So you're really working to build relationships with these people and get them to trust you. Anybody know the number one reason people cancel on you? So one of the number one reasons, oh, Jenna's going to say, yeah.
I was going to say it's because they feel like they're going to disappoint you.
That's right. So the number one reason that people will cancel is they feel like they're going to disappoint you. They're not going to get enough sales, or they're not going to get enough people coming to their show or joining a virtual. And it's funny because whenever I book a direct sales company, I always have in the back of my mind, well, if I don't get enough people, I can always cancel on her. So we're always kind of keeping our hosts calm. So whether it be a live booking when we're like, don't worry, the no's are going to come first and the yeses are going to come later. And also, we're not going to find a date that works for everybody. So not everybody's going to be able to come, and people are going to cancel the day of. So you want that to be super normal and just kind of keeping them calm and like, we're going to have a great party. Same with when you guys get no's and you feel like you're getting a lot of no's. Don't feel like you're failing at all. I still hear no all the time, or no reply at all, or, people writing something back. Like, I don't do those parties. But if you change your emotion around them, I'm just like, next, you are crazy to not want to do a party with me because I'm going to change your life in the kitchen. So whenever I hear no, I think I'm like, you are crazy. Why would you not want to do a party with me? They are a blast, and you're going to be able to change your kitchen. So with these 25 contacts, our goal will be about 100 people that we're having two-way conversations with in the next month. So remember that reach outs are not one and done, and you're going to have to circle back to these contacts a few times. I just did a party with a gal. It ended up being a $1,500 virtual. And if you look at our chat feed, I asked her like 4 times for a live party. She kept saying no, and like 3 times for a virtual. And she finally was like, oh, yeah, fine. I'll just do it just to get you off my back. Because I just knew she was going to have a good party. And she's been a fantastic host for me in the past. So that's what comes to my next point. Don't ever feel like you're being pushy. Even though that might sound like I was being pushy, I just knew that her group of friends hadn't seen any of our new stuff. Like they hadn't seen our quick cooker, they hadn't seen our blender. I knew that her group of friends was going to go nuts. So if you're worried about being pushy, you're not, first of all. So that's always a good way to put in your head. If ever you feel like you're being pushy, you're not. Whenever somebody says, will you do a show for me, like a new consultant talking to a friend? No, they're not doing a show for you as the consultant. You're doing a show for them, and you are going to change their life in the kitchen. So be confident in your business. Does everybody have Pampered Chef on their voicemail on their phone? That's a good one. So how serious are you? Do you tell people about your business? And we all kind of have a thing in our brain called a chicken list. And it's always this group of customers or a group of friends from our Franks list that we're a little bit scared to contact. Either we're a little bit embarrassed that we're selling Pampered Chef, or you just feel like, oh, they would never say no. There's no possible way that I could get them to have a show. That chicken list is where the magic happens. I am telling you, my chicken list was always the girls I went to high school with, and I finally feel like I broke through to that this year, and 2 of them have just are promoting to director this month, and they were totally on my chicken list before. So try and think of like that aunt that you feel is like, oh, she's way too wealthy to want to have a Pampered Chef show. Or normally those are the first targets, right? No, just kidding. Or you think that, oh, she's a lawyer, she's too busy, she wouldn't want to have a show with me. Whoever's, identify your chicken list, and you will be so surprised at what happens when you go after that chicken list. So I'm going to introduce you guys to a type of customer care system called 222. So that's what's so special about doing Pampered Chef and being a direct sales owner is we're not working at home, whatever the heck those are called, those home you know what I'm talking about, Bed Bath and Beyond, which has like the worst service ever. We are Pampered Chef consultants. So think of yourself like a true consultant. One of my favorite things to do when I'm at a cooking show, or if you're doing a virtual party, I'll be like, post a picture of your best skillet or your best frying pan. Or to my host, I always say, show me your best frying pan. I do this all the time, and I'm always like, okay, we're not going to go to Walmart, buy a Tefal pan once a year, and then throw it out once a year. I want to buy you one good skillet that you're going to have your entire life. So think of yourself a consultant where people can actually go to you for advice. And if you're ever unsure of a question, just fake it till you make it. Take a screenshot of the question and send it to one of us for an answer. But for this 222 customer care service, you really want to give them superb customer service. So if somebody buys from you in a virtual party or a live party, 2 days after, so this is the first 2, you can fire them a text or send them an email or send them a Facebook message and just say, I just wanted to thank you so much for your business. I really appreciate it. Without you, I wouldn't have one. That's what I normally say. I just really appreciate your business. I say that about 1,000 times a day. If you've ever been in the car with me, I'm always on the phone. I really appreciate your business. Thank you so much for your business. So the first 2 is 2 days after the purchase. The second one is 2 weeks after they've purchased, which we call an out of the box call. Or did you get your order? It's super frustrating as the consultant when we work our butts to get those shows in fast and the host has not given the customer their order. So I always like to do the 2-week call or text. and say, hey, just calling to see if you've taken your large bar pen out of the box. I would love to send you some recipes for it. Or would you like some recipes to go with your metal sheet pans? So just providing that extra care, that extra customer service. And then the third 2 is 2 months after the purchase. And this is where you can talk to them about booking a show. Like, how are you liking your stuff? I'd love to do a cooking. I miss you guys. Let's do a show with you and your friends. As Mish always likes to say, let's keep this party going. Who's having the next party? And the 2-month call is a great time to be like, we had just had a new catalog come out. We have 50 new things. You have got to see what Pampered Chef has come out with. Or I'm doing this amazing wine, cheese, and chocolate party, or Jamaican jerk nacho party. You'll find for live cooking shows that people will book really quick if you have a theme. So if you're working a trade show, instead of being like, do you want to book a party? It's like, oh, that sounds like work. I'm gonna have to like clean my house. But if you say like, oh, I'm doing this awesome wine, cheese, and chocolate show, or I love making Jamaican jerk nachos and beer burritos, now that sounds like fun. That doesn't sound like a chore or sound like a lot of work. So using themes is huge. Whenever you're unsure of like what to say to like a friend, for example, you can always start your messages with, I am so excited because. So again, going back to, not feeling pushy, don't worry. If you're worried about feeling pushy, you might become passive, and passive people are waiting for business to come to them, and it's not a good strategy. I wish that worked. Even, sometimes my calendar will be like totally empty and I'm like, it's November. I'm going to have some bookings come to me. That does not happen. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. You have to go out there and get the business. So it's not our job to make people do parties, but it's our job to make sure that every single person is asked. So we want to sound excited, not desperate. So it's a great, with this new blender, like I am so excited because we have like the best nacho cheese recipe in the history of the world. I have got to make this for you and some friends. Or you go over to a friend's house and you be like, oh girl, I have to do a show for you. The stuff that you have in your kitchen, you need an upgrade. So to talk to hosts to help about bookings. So this would be getting bookings from bookings. So when you are doing a virtual party or a live party, your host is your biggest ally. So what you want to do, they don't understand what a future party pick is. And a future party pick is if somebody books a show, the host will be able to get a 50% off item at their show. But we don't want to refer to it as that. We want to call it half price coupons. So you want to talk to your host and say, I have a challenge for you. I'd love to get you 3 half price coupons. Can you think of 3 people who you think would be awesome hosts for me and message them for me? If you get me 3 bookings on your party, I'm going to give you that quick slice on your wish list. So it's much easier when your host gets the bookings for you. So bookings outside of parties. So we want to make sure that when we're on Facebook, we're working on Facebook and not just looking at cat videos. Guilty. So don't do a daily like, help me, I'm putting in an order, a bulk order for this, or I'm so close to a goal. But you want to save those for something special, like say when you're promoting to director in your short. But you want to consider like a social media schedule kind of. So maybe Monday would be like Monday equals money saving tips at the grocery store. Tuesday could be Tuesday tips in the kitchen. Wednesday could be what's for dinner Wednesday, or share some dinner recipes. Thursday could be like Thirsty Thursday, sharing some drink ideas. And then Friday could be like Fun Friday, sharing some fun in the kitchen. So what you're trying to do on Facebook is you're trying to create a brand. So you don't want to just be posting like tons of salesy posts like, popcorn maker, this $30 popcorn maker is awesome. Who wants to buy a $30 popcorn maker? Instead, if you do things like this, Mondays, saving money at the grocery store, or Thirsty Thursdays, you're kind of creating a brand that people are, want to follow and want to become your friend on Facebook. So make sure you're doing a few personal posts, and then do a few pictures of you doing a recipe, and then maybe do one like something about, oh, I did the pumpkin one today. I found pumpkins at this store. The more people are interacting with your posts on Facebook, the more they're going to see your salesy posts and know you, like you, and trust you. So going back to those three things. When you're doing your virtual parties, you want to make sure that you're friending the people who are participating and everybody who buys on the party, which sounds super weird. And when I first started doing virtuals, I'm like, this is like strange. I'm adding all these strangers. But then when you do a post using like the double burner grill and, something you use all the time on Facebook, they're going to be like, oh, I want that double burner grill you always use. And I'll be like, get it for 60% off in November. So hosts are your absolute number one recruit lead. And the trick is we have to ask more than once. So whether we are talking to guests or hosts, listen to soft no's. Like a lot of objections that we hear can easily be countered. Like for example, I hear the objection a lot, oh, I'm super busy, there's no way I could host a party, or there's no way that I could do Pampered Chef. And my response is always, busy people get stuff done. My busy hosts and guests are actually the best hosts and consultants. So they can easily pop a virtual party or a cooking show into their schedule, and they can easily run a business alongside their busy life because you choose when you get to work. Asking once is polite, but asking twice is sincere. So that's one thing I sure have learned in the last 2 months is the people who have joined my team have said, thank you so much for asking me multiple times. I'm so glad I took this chance and I'm doing Pampered Chef. So I'm going to post this awesome image. It's in team sale, but just to reiterate it, ask your host 5 times about joining the business. And we cannot believe how many people have joined our team in the last few months on the 5th ask, which is crazy. So it is okay to ask more than once. Don't feel like you're bugging. I've also posted, you'll see in the Red Apron group right at the top, I've pinned a whole bunch of asks. So it says, just working on my October party schedule, any interest in gathering some people for a fun party in November. Geez, already November. So you'll see a whole bunch of really good words to use. When you're first starting, you're kind of like a copy paste consultant. It's all about scripts. Don't feel like you have to have like some really long drawn out conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's great to just get to the point. Hey, I've just started my business with Pampered Chef. I'd love to pamper you and some friends. Can I come and cook for you? Or would you be interested in doing a virtual party? All right, what else do we have here? There we go. So our goal, especially if you're looking to grow in the career plan, here. Thank you, Stacey. This is a good idea about pinning the asks. So you're going to see in the wording that I have in Red Apron Bound that you're going to have wording for if you've just begun, if you've never talked to this person before, if it's a brand new person you've never asked. So there's some really, really good wording in there. And it'll have wording if you're a cooking show only consultant, if you're virtual, or if you're a little bit of both. I highly recommend doing your own Christmas party or holiday. I call it the holiday appetizer and gift buying party. So if you haven't hosted your own party or you haven't done one in a while, the best month to host one is in November because people don't want to go to the mall. They want to stock up and buy like 10 mini serving spatulas done. I have teacher gifts and stocking stuffers done. Plus, it's super fun. You want to show off some fantastic appetizers that they're going to be able to show off and use over the holidays. So I challenge you guys to host your own show. So pick a date, whether that be like a weeknight or like a champagne brunch on a Sunday or Saturday at 11 a.m. And then I'm going to get you to post it in the group of a date that you're going to host. So that's a super fun one to do, is host your own party. One of my favorite ones to do is a pressure cooker workshop, because so many people have Instapots that they have gotten that are sitting in their cupboard that have never been used and are collecting dust. And people are so scared to use them. I'm gonna post a lasagna recipe that is like mind blowing, that's made in our springform pan. And I do that at my pressure cooker workshop. And when I say workshop, it's just they make a lasagna and then we put out some catalogs. That's it. So I'm gonna post the lasagna recipe. And then I actually normally will bring a bread made in the quick cooker, the bread recipe that comes with the quick cooker book, and I'll bring a cheesecake. So then we kind of have like a 3-course meal. And you can get massive sales from pressure cooker workshops, because if they already have an Instapot, either, let's be honest, they need to upgrade. No, they need they need accessories for their Instapot, or they need to get using it. So I challenge you to host your own live party in November, because then you're going to get a massive shopping spree as well. So the challenges are: make sure you're doing your 25 two-way conversations from now until next Tuesday. Record them and then we'll show them on our next video. Book a date to do your own live show. And then the big key is 4 virtual parties minimum per week. So I know that we preach this, but that is where you're really going to see some growth in your business, and that's how you're going to start working towards your dream paycheck. Like I've been posting, 4 gets you more, and 4 virtual, if you can do 1 virtual party, you can do 4. And the reason being is that most likely 1 virtual might not be that good. It'll be $0 or $200. 1 virtual might be like $400, 1 might be $1,000, and 1 might be 400, another one. But if you would have just done the $0 one, you would have said, geez, this virtual party business sucks. I hate virtual parties. I'm never doing them again. So if you can do 1, you can do 4, and it'll work out better for your show average, because there's always going to be those virtual parties that flop. And why do virtual parties flop? Because the hosts don't do anything. So you can do the most beautiful, shiniest, most magical virtual party the world has ever seen, with the most timed and coordinated posts. But if the host doesn't do at least 1 post a day, that virtual party is going to be a flop for sure. So if the host doesn't do at least 1 post a day, so you want to for sure be, my cat over here, if you want to for sure be sending your host at least 1 post a day to put in their virtual. And then the other trick is you really want to make sure that your hosts are directly messaging all of the guests on the second last day of the party, asking them to order. I never order from a virtual party unless my friend is like, Andrea, my show's closing, aren't you ordering? Then I'll order. Otherwise, I don't order ever. So that's why it's so important to get your host to send out those messages. Okay, I guess that's 3 pieces of homework. So if you don't have 4 parties this week, work on it with some of our scripts that I have posted in there, and then 4 parties to start next week. Pick a date for your own live party, and then 25 two-way conversations. This one's kind of all about filling your calendar, and then next week is going to be more about how to talk to people about the business. Questions? I'm going to unmute you all. So if you're listening to a movie over top of me, pause it. All right, unmute all. There we go. There we go. The crying babies begin. Any questions? Questions?
Andrea, can you go back through your how your Money Monday? What did you call them?
Oh yeah, let's see here. So like Money Monday would be like money tips for saving at the grocery. I'll post this too. These are just kind of cool. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Courtney on Instagram, but she does an awesome What's for Dinner Wednesday on Instagram. And she's sold so much stuff from doing this cool What's for Dinner Wednesday in her stories on Instagram. So I'll just post this. And this is a good idea of ways to not be too salesy, but still kind of using our products. know.
So do you post those all on your personal page and not on your business page?
Yeah, I've heard you could do them on your business page too, and like share them from your business to your personal. But in my opinion, you're kind of creating a personal brand. Again, people are gonna book with you because they like you, know you, and trust you. So if you're posting like funny things or like things that make people like you never want to post cryptic stuff on Facebook. That's like the worst, right? Or I can't believe she did that to me again, like cryptobook, and you're just like, what is she talking about? Don't post those things. Facebook is not the place to air your dirty laundry. Try and keep it super upbeat and positive. No religion, no politics. You're creating a brand, and if you do something really polarizing, like say you love Trump or something, you're gonna have people that aren't gonna like you because of that. So, and then they're not gonna want to book a party. Like, she's a Trump supporter. I'm not booking a party with her. That's a bad example, but you know what I mean. Okay, let me post this. That's kind of a cool idea. But the more you go live, like so many people are like, you and your dang videos, whenever you go live using, like, do you know how many coding trays and tools that I sold yesterday? Just posting my homemade chicken fingers.
It's warm tomorrow.
Like, well, 3, but I was so excited to sell 3. Show you using your tools and your products. I'm so excited for you guys. Seriously, I have never, ever, ever felt like this is a better time to be a Pampered Chef consultant with our virtual parties going on, and then obviously it being November. Like, this is like, we always say it's time to make hay while the sun shines, and the sun is shining. This is like the best time. I'm so excited.
Andrea, I have a question.
Yes.
Nikki here. I'm just wondering, when you say for the booking our live show for November, do you mean an in-person?
Yeah. So host your own party. Get some girlfriends together, be like, I want you to be my guinea pigs. I'm going to try some recipes and you tell me if you think they're show worthy. That's a good trick. Or have the play school moms over. Have a coffee date during the day. Like, whatever you want to work, have people over during the day and be like, come over for soups and slippers.
For example, I had a fall product launch in September, late September, early October, and I booked a party from it, and I'm closing it tonight. It's $1,000.
Nice. So a really good trick is when you host your own live party is you can have these really pretty fluffy little gift bags that look so fancy, and you say, okay, if you guys pick your own date tonight you get to pick a gift bag. And then I've had people at events like fighting over these gift bags, and I'm like, I don't know what I was smoking when I put the prizes in there because they're really good prizes. But you're not actually putting an actual physical product in there. You do a print off of a product, like say a citrus press. And then when they hold their party, because you don't want them to just take a citrus press from you, you can add a citrus press onto their host order, and then you're going to get 20 to 30% off it anyways. But that's a great way to fill your calendar. And whenever you're like, I really had trouble getting started and really had trouble getting people to book my first shows when I first started, and I ended up changing my language to like, if you're in a rut, like you feel like you've contacted people, be like, I need your help. I'm trying to reach this certain goal, or I'm really trying to launch my business. If you start with that, I need your help. Holy man, what a difference that makes. So don't be afraid to say that. Like, I need your help. I think you're going to be an awesome host. I'd love to pamper you and some friends, and I'd love to help you start my business. Just posting on Red Apron Bound those social media ideas. What are some other good live theme ideas too?
Well, yeah, Christmas themes. Well, and I think too with November, when you can say to people, you can get absolutely anything in the whole catalog 60% off. It's a huge, huge booking tool.
Totally. yeah. Often people will be like, oh, I really want that quick cooker. I'll be like, you can get it for $120 in November. And people are like, what? How? So you want to, if you haven't done that already, if I was to
That's
give you
what I
a
was gonna
60%,
say.
yeah, 60% off coupon, that's a great post to do on your Facebook. Any more questions, comments?
You guys are like crickets.
No.
I can't emphasize so much or more, but 25 contacts, that's what helped me last month get, promoted. It was actually writing them down, getting the two-way conversations, and using the tracker.
Nice. What other things, Jenna? She's always like, don't put me on the spot. What other things help?
I'm back from walking the dog and my kids down, so I'm okay now.
Okay, perfect.
The 5 times, asking the host 5 times, make sure you're having those conversations before you set it up. And then, even after you've set it up, are you sure before we invite all your friends, we could still make it your party? Oh, look, all your friends are now incoming. They clearly enjoy it and want to be a part of, Pampered Chef. They love it as much as you do. Are you sure you don't want to do it? And then kind of towards the end where you're closing it out, we can definitely turn this over to yours still, or do you want to use your host credits towards the kit? So keep using that.
Yes.
Also, can I jump in? We only
Of
have
course.
like a couple days left, and we really need to do that personal reach outs by sharing that photo of the kits, and let's help people sign up. They have a few days left. Like, there's no reason. We're all in here to promote. We're all in here to do that. You need to all personally and give them a compliment. Like, I really feel that this would benefit you because I think you'd be so good at this because, and put in what you think. Like, do they post a lot on social media for foodie? Like, that's how so many people have joined my team, because I was constantly reaching out to people who post all the time. So this is such a good offer for them. So you need to personally reach out in the next 2 days. Like, plug in. Yes, your 25 contacts are massively important, but you need to reach out right now. If you're brand new, write down people you think that you want on your team and ask this. Reach out, pick up the phone, text them, whatever, email them. I'm doing my job. This is part of my job, is to show you this, and do it. Do it. It'll be worth it.
Yes. And when Christy Line signed 12 people in August. And what she did was she made a list of 65 people, and that's all she focused on was those 65. And she just kept saying, like, are you sure? I really think you'd be awesome at this. Again, asking once is nice, but asking twice is sincere. Like, I really do think you'd be awesome at this. Why don't you give it a shot? I always say to people, the worst thing that could possibly happen is you're going to get a ridiculous amount of products for a really good price. And the best thing that could happen is you're going to make money in a super fun way. Like, what is there to lose? Like, whenever people say no to the business too, I'm like, you're crazy. How many more people can we add by Halloween night?
Angie's on this call, and she actually told me today she joined on Halloween night last year. So
spooky.
It's still a thing. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, that's right. I remember that kit deal. It was half price kit deal last year, I think. And a lot of people joined on Halloween last year. I think we had a ton. So make sure you're following up with how many people are in the group, Stacy's asking, like our Director Bound group?
Yep.
Well, technically in the group, there's 94 of us. But
okay, but how many people are attending, participating?
In the call right now, there's 22.
Okay, how many people do you guys want in the next 2 days? Let's set a number.
5.
Okay, I think that 24 of us, we can sign 60 people.
Yes, I agree.
Wow.
Terry's face, just her jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, I saw Taryn's face just dropped.
We're all about big, crazy goals this month. Our team is killing it. We have the most fun team in all of Canada. And you know why you want to be a director or have at least 2 people on your team is we have leadership happening in Calgary, which is so exciting. And that is happening January 10th. I'm checking my calendar here. January 10th to 12th in Calgary, and we are going to be having an absolute blast. And if you're not there, you're going to be having major FOMO over the photos because we have a very amazing pajama party. We don't drink at all. Have no fun. It's like the best time ever. So, and we want to be celebrating a ton of people walking across stage as directors. So that's why we're running this group. You know, why would you want to build a team? Well, first of all, that's how you make serious money doing this. That's just plain and simple. That's how you can make knock your socks off money that people go, what? You seriously make that doing Pampered Chef? Also, it's, you know, it's really cool for you to get an order and for you to achieve something. But if you help a friend or somebody you know, or your first recruit lead achieve something and you see how excited they are, that's 100% why we do this, is helping other people achieve stuff. So we've had people on the team, of course, being able to quit big corporate jobs, being able to pay off debt they thought they would never get out of and they used to keep them awake at night. You know, there's people in your life who's been laid off or their spouse has been laid off, or people who have a boss that they are sick to their stomachs every single Sunday because they have to go to work and have a boss that they hate. That's why we do this, because we literally change lives with this business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fun. We have the best team. I'm a little hyper tonight. Holy. All right. So if there's no more questions or comments, again, pick a date for you to do your own live show. 25 two-way conversations, 4 virtual parties per week. And when you're doing 4 virtual parties or 4 parties at all, you should be adding 1 person. So 4 and 1.
Are you doing a secret word?
The secret word is candy corn.
What?
Candy corn.
Ha!
For Halloween Eve. It's Halloween Eve. So if you guys would be able to post your biggest takeaway in the Red Apron Bound group as well, that would be fantastic. And I'm going to post the lasagna recipe if you're interested in doing your own quick cooker workshop. Even if you've never used your quick cooker, remember, we are experts. Bake it till you make it. We have documents that'll teach you how to do that kind of stuff.
And I agree with Stacy. Let's try to build 60 more. Let's track it. Going for 60, we will get results. So it's better than not putting a number. So there's enough of us on here.
Yes, and the easiest way to ask somebody, especially when you first start, and the thing that's gotten me the most team members ever is just saying, have you ever thought about doing something like this? I think you'd be awesome because you love to cook. I think you'd be awesome because you love to bake. Have you ever thought of doing something like this? That's what I was asked, and I was like, no, I'd never do something like this. And then she planted the seed, and then they come back around.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about doing something like this? I think you'd be awesome because you have such a fun personality, because you're super organized and I'm not, and I need more organized people on my team. I use that one a lot because it's true.
Me too. Love it. Love this. Thank you, Andrea.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time. I look forward to the next 4 weeks. And let's rack them up. 2 more days.
You got it.
Woo.
Ciao.
Post your takeaways. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea.